And then she said, oh, hey, welcome to another edition of Sci-Fi Journal presented by the Rhode Island Science Fiction Club. This show is for September 2017. I'm Marc Morisseau. Also hosting today are my wonderful co-host, Calvin Watts III, Jay Kingston, and stick with the script, James Hinsey. All right, yeah. And as always, we have tons of fun stuff for you this month, September. Are we starting our, 21st year doing this show? Can you believe it? We had nothing else better to do. We showed up for 21 years.
I thought the first was in January.
Was it in January? I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe that's when it aired.
We're starting our 21st season, if you want to be.
Season.
There you go.
If you call it a season in September, right.
So our 21st season. Wicked, awesome, cool. As always, we begin with a wonderful segment called Popcorn Previews. Go, Jay, go!
Yeah, right. Anyway, we've got 3 movies for you this month. We've got Blade Runner 2049, which stars Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford. And that has a release date of early October. And that's, it looks pretty intense. It's rated R. It's not a kid's movie. I'm warning you now. So let's take a look at that footage.
It's 2:45.
I missed you, baby sweet.
There's no one in the place
It was a day.
except you and me.
It was a day.
Humanity cannot survive.
Replicants are the future of the species, but I can only make so many.
He's got every gun in the city. I've got you.
We have to stop him.
What do you want?
I thought you might be able to help me with the case. He's constructing an army.
Tell me what you remember. Everything.
They know you're here.
He's on your tail. I'm coming with you.
What's the plan?
We don't run.
You do not know what pain is yet. You will learn.
That was intense.
It's very intense, and yeah. Do you think Harrison Ford is a replicant in this movie?
I don't know. I know it's it's up in the air.
Maybe.
You know, it's always been conjectured, and if you read the book, it's sort of like, you know, the whole thing with Philip K. Dick is what's real and what's not. You can't tell.
Yep.
Because reality is fluid, and so it's hard to tell. I mean, we'll have to see how the movie.
If you want to get an idea of what the whole thing's about, read Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep
Yes.
by Philip K. Dick. That's what the movies were based on. Next, we've got Justice League, and this one is going to be, hopefully, the blockbuster that we've been waiting for, just as Wonder Woman was. It stars Henry Cavill as Superman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Ben Affleck as Batman, and Jason Momoa as Aquaman. And Jason Momoa looks pretty intense. And, well, this time Justice League takes on the forces of Darkseid. And this one is rated PG-13. The release date is mid to late November. So let's take a look at that footage.
this weekend, Diana?
Me? Nothing very interesting.
The world remains in mourning after the death of the Superman.
Speculate he was alone.
And where is the Gotham Bat? The mass vigilante has been a no-show.
He said the Age of Heroes would never come again.
It has to. We don't have any more time.
Something is coming.
No protectors here. No lanterns. No Kryptonian. This world will fall. Like all the others.
One misses the days when one's biggest concerns were exploding wind-up penguins.
This is crazy. Honestly, I think we're all gonna die.
Each of us, in some way, is held back.
Don't engage alone. We'll do this together.
It's really cool. You guys seem ready to do battle and stuff, but I've never done battle. I've just pushed some people and run away.
Relax, Alfred. I'll take it from here.
Do I know you?
Superman was a beacon to the world. He didn't just save people. He made them see the best parts of themselves.
All right.
I don't recognize this world.
We don't have to recognize him. We just have to save it.
How many of you are there? Not enough. Do you really think that...
Oh, wow, they really just vanish. Huh? Oh. That's rude.
You said you'd come. Now let's hope you're not too late.
The footage is great.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa kicks ass as Aquaman in the footage.
Yes, he does.
However, Zack Snyder had to leave due to some family issues and personal reasons.
Right.
And so Josh Whedon came in to finish up the movie, and now they are going through like some massive reshoots and some rewrites and stuff. So they're still working on the movie now, even though release date is just a couple of months away. However, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because they did the same thing with Star Wars Rogue One. Look how well that turned out.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And there's a rumor that there might be a Green Lantern showing up in this film.
Which would be
Which
awesome.
would be awesome.
Well, Alfred talks to somebody mysterious at the end.
Yep.
I mean, obviously people probably would think it's Superman, but I don't think it is.
Some people think it might be
Who is it?
Superman. Some people have said Green Lantern. Some people have said Supergirl.
Yeah.
So, we don't know.
Yeah. That'll be a surprise then.
Well, if you go by the green glow reflected in Alfred's glasses.
Yep.
Who knows?
Who knows?
An older Hal Jordan.
Ah, that's cool.
You know what would be really cool?
What?
Nathan Fillion?
If it
as
was
Hal
either
Jordan?
Nathan Fillion or if it was Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, that would be nice. Get to redeem himself.
Hey, don't laugh.
Yeah.
It is possible.
Our last movie for the month is Star Wars The Last Jedi, which stars Mark Hamill, the late Carrie Fisher in her last role, and Daisy Ridley. And this one looks to be very interesting. It's who is the Last Jedi? Is it going to be Luke, or is it going to be I can't remember her name in the film now. Ray?
Yep.
Very good.
Only time will tell. This film is slated for mid-December, and just in time for Christmas. So let's take a look at that footage.
Everybody set? 3, 2, 1.
Action. Episode 8. Gosh. The first film didn't even have a number.
Ryan has written a story that's unexpected but right. Some of the stuff that happens, people are going to be like, oh my God.
Even though I think I know it all, they throw things at me story-wise I never could have imagined.
And even though everybody knows that it's the second in a trilogy, it feels like its own thing.
Star Wars is so cool because there's all these creatures and all these amazing visual effects. But all the characters are also so complex.
Ryan needs to work on his Wookiee sounds. It's ridiculous. New director, can't even just learn a Wookiee sound.
It feels like the storylines are becoming more established. We're really getting to know these new characters, also with the characters that we know and love. We're seeing their lives change.
Everything is being shifted in the opposite way to what the audience expected after 7. Ryan's made Star Wars fresh and new.
I'm hoping it'll be a little shocking, but I'm hoping it'll feel real and honest.
It's our most ancient story of good against evil, told in the most fascinating way, but it has a real spiritual depth to it.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
It's a wrap!
And now they're proving, because of the release times of these different movies, the summer movie season is pretty much disappeared. People are, because studios are premiering their movies any time of the year. We've got big blockbusters showing up as early as March and April. We have others in the summer, but now they're pushing really big movies towards Thanksgiving holiday and the Christmas holidays, so they're switching it up. They've done that the last couple of seasons.
And that one, by the way, was PG-13.
PG-13, okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and they've recently just mentioned that there's going to be an Obi-Wan movie. So along with there's a Han Solo movie that's in the works.
Right.
And they're going to do maybe an Obi-Wan movie.
Yep, and they might do a Boba Fett movie too.
So.
But who knows?
Yeah.
I just hope they don't overdo it, because you can have too much of a good thing. So
Yeah.
we'll see
And I
what
hope there'll be a
happens.
trailer for Han Solo.
Well,
when
next
Last
thing you know,
Jedi
they'll be
comes out.
doing a Jawa movie. And,
Yeah. And one about Salacious Crumb. There you go.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Now, I have a question related to movies. There's a website, there's a thing called movies.com, where I think you pay less than $10 for per month, and you can see as many as 30 movies during that month. Do you think it's almost like a Netflix for people who like to go to the theater? Do you think this thing is going to do well, or are the movie theaters going to push against it, or what do you think?
Actually, I just saw that AMC may go to a $10 subscription rate for people to actually go to the theaters. So you paid $10 and go to AMC all month.
Right. Well, this is
you
what
know,
this movies.com.
Because they really make their money on concessions.
Right.
So, subscription pass for a movie theater versus online, it's up to you, but you could go either way.
Yeah.
I could see the studios maybe pushing back against it because they're dumping all these millions into the film being made, and if they're selling subscriptions for $10 a month, what happens to the studio's profits?
Yeah, I personally think probably the $10 price point is a little low. I mean, yeah, it's great for us.
Well, it started at $50, and then they lowered it.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
But I mean, they are losing customers left and right. This summer's box office has been down
It's been
significantly.
a very slow summer.
So
Yep.
they have to try something.
And the plot sickens.
Yeah.
That's right. Wah, wah, wah.
Well, Netflix is doing their own original programming too, with movies and TV shows. So, and they've got the money to fund it.
All right. Well, that's all for popcorn previews for this month. So let's move right along with a segment that we like to call something I don't know.
Game over.
I can't read the script.
Game over.
Game over with Calvin Watts. Calvin?
Jay?
Jay?
So.
James?
Calvin?
Marc?
Go.
Hey. Anyways.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
It's been a little while since we've been in the studio, so there's some home media news and something, we'll touch a little bit more on that whole subscription thing, but we'll get to that. So out right now, a lot of the movies that were out in the summer are now available for home media, whether you're streaming or you want to buy the Blu-ray or DVD or the 4K. So available as we speak: Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Kong Skull Island, Alien Covenant, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. Boy, did that bomb.
Oh, P.U.
Ghost in the Shell, that also bombed.
Yep.
And Batman and Harley Quinn, which is the latest DC animated universe title.
All right.
Coming out this month, some pretty cool titles. Guardians, that's the Russia.
Oh yeah,
I've seen the clips.
It's getting a domestic release. Yeah,
Cool.
really crazy, over the top superhero movie.
All right.
Cool.
Wonder Woman comes out towards the end of the month. That's going to be really cool. 47 Meters Down, which is the Mandy Moore horror flick.
Yeah,
I
no
know.
thanks.
Yeah. And Starship Troopers, Traitor of Mars. This is a CG sequel to the movies with Caspian Van Dien. And Dea Meyer is actually in this. I guess she is reprising her role possibly as Diz.
That's good.
So that's
because
coming
she
out.
needs the work.
That's coming out this month. So.
Right. But it also was in the theaters too. They released it in theaters for
Yeah,
one day.
like a really, really
So if you
limited
sneezed, you
release.
missed it.
Now, is this going back in time?
No.
Because
No, it's not going back in time. It is a
wasn't
sequel.
Dina Myers killed in?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good question.
So yeah, exactly. Which is why it's interesting, and I would like the chance to watch it at some point.
Yeah.
So you're seeing more and more 4K releases. Disney is now jumping into the fray. The Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is their first 4K release. So those of you who would like to plan ahead, if you're going to get a 4K TV, a lot of the 4K releases now also include a Blu-ray, which is pretty cool. So you can, if you want to plan for the future but still be in the present, so that's pretty cool, if you're into that sort of thing, which I am. Speaking of Netflix, Disney dumped them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is something I wanted to kind of bring up with you guys, because we've talked for a while. A lot of people, especially younger viewers, were kind of dissatisfied with having to pay so much for their cable bill. So they've been cutting the cord, so to speak. So now you've had Netflix around for a while, and then you've had services like Hulu, and now Amazon Prime. And so they have their own TV shows, or they license movies or whatnot. But now you have more and more companies. CBS, the only way you're going to be able to watch new Star Trek Discovery is by subscribing to their app, their channel. NBC has like a similar thing. Now Disney's going to be doing multiple stuff. They're starting out with an ESPN app, which will debut like next year, and then when Disney's contract with Netflix comes out in 2019, they'll have their own. And Disney will succeed because they just have a whole treasure trove of stuff to go from. But since everyone seems like they're going the streaming app thing, the whole thing of trying to save money is kind of like out the window.
Right, yeah.
So what do you guys think?
I think, yeah, eventually they're going to outprice themselves because you can only purchase so many streaming services before it ends up costing almost as much or more than a cable TV service. So people might end up, what we do at my house, we have cable TV, but I also have a Roku player. So a lot of my channels coordinate, so I can get a lot of Roku. Through my Roku, I can play programs on my cable channels whenever I want. I don't have to wait for them to come up or DVR them later. It's kind of a nice balance. Plus, we also have Netflix, so it works out good. But I'm not going to pay for CBS All Access. I'm not going to pay for extra just for Disney. I'm not going to pay extra just for Marvel. It's like, no.
You'd rather have one source that you get it all,
right?
Which is like what a cable box
is. Which is what we're getting right now with cable TV.
And with DVRs, you can pretty much record whatever you want and watch it whenever you want with the DVR.
Yeah.
And there's like Netflix is sort of an all-in-one where you can get movies, TV shows, and everything like that whenever you want, which is great. We actually watch the Netflix through our DVR, and just like other smart TVs or smart Blu-ray players that connect to the internet, you can use your streaming services through those players.
You have those apps that are on the TV, on the player itself.
So it's going to be interesting to see how the cable universe shakes out over the next couple of years. It's going to be a changing world, and we are changing along with it.
I think too. There's also a lot of concern when it comes to in regards to public access programming. I mean, are the cable TV companies going to try to squeeze out public access programming altogether because they want those channels to bring in revenue? I know they can't, but that doesn't mean
it's state legislation
that
requires them to carry public
to
access. I would like to see if we can get public access through satellite channels too, at some point, so that DirecTV and the others can, at least the local, can at least somehow carry it.
It would be nice to stream public access channels as well.
And a lot of places do too. It's simply connecting up an app within the website page, and they can stream their programming. A lot of public access stations do, except Rhode Island hasn't gotten to that point. We can't even post a schedule online. So, other places do.
All right, so moving on to gaming, out with the old, in with the new. Out with the old, unfortunately, Lanes and Games up in Cambridge, New Hampshire, which was an institution it was a dual-level bowling alley. It had a bar. One level had 10-pin bowling, one level had candlepin bowling, and it was one of the last bowling alleys that actually had an old-school arcade. This one was known for its pinball collection. It had around 10 or 11 pinball machines. Unfortunately, bowling isn't as popular as it used to be. A developer bought the place out, and it closed this past weekend, which is really sad. So, rest in peace, Lanes and Games. The one in Lincoln, that's a separate Lanes and Games, that's still open if you go there. So there's that. Game Underground has moved inside the Natick Mall, which is really cool because Gabe from Tintastic has a couple of his machines in there. In fact, the newest Jersey Jack pinball machine, Dialed In, which is really, really fun, is on location there. So if you get the chance, you're in central Massachusetts, go up to Natick Mall, check out Game Underground. If you want to stay locally, the guys from TempleCon, for a couple of times now, they were at the Coliseum Complex, which is a nightclub complex in downtown Providence on Pine Street. They did this thing called Arcade Revival, where they brought in a bunch of the video games that they used at TempleCon, and they had a setup for a night or a couple of nights. It did so well, they decided to open up a barcade at that site, which just opened up. So it's called Free Play Bar and Arcade. So you can look online for like the schedules and times. They have about 100 machines there between pinball machines, arcade games, a lot of the classics. I'm really looking forward to going and checking that out, and hopefully we can set up something and give you guys a little taste of what it looks like. Moving on to other gaming news, the SNES Classic is official.
Oh, good.
Nintendo has announced it's going to be another thing with like 30 some odd games. It's going to retail for under $100. It's going to have an extra controller, and it's going to sell like hotcakes. And they've only said it's going to probably be available to the end of this year. So if you really want it, you better try and get it the second it comes out, because the secondary market of this is going to be crazy. Almost as crazy is that there's a company that a couple of years ago bought the rights to the Atari name. So Atari has officially been kind of like all but dead. So it was kind of crazy when they announced about a month or so ago that they were actually going to come out with a new console. And it's not vaporware. I mean, they're really serious about this. It's called the Atari Box. It looks really nice, and it looks like it's going to be a melding of classic like Atari games and some like new stuff. I mean, it's not going to be like an Xbox or a PlayStation, but something that it can play like newer games and like older games. They haven't really released a whole lot of information about it. They've released like console pictures and whatnot. It's kind of trickling out, but it definitely has my curiosity, so looking forward to that. RetroWorld, we have an interview here that we kind of left over from TerrorCon, and we saved it to now because the RetroWorld Expo 2017, which is a gaming expo in Connecticut, is happening in October. So it's October 14th to 15th at the Convention Center in Hartford. And back in February, we spoke with Chris from Retro Games Plus. He was at TerrorCon. He had a Nightmare on Elm Street pinball machine, which is fairly rare, which is really cool to play. And I'm looking forward to hopefully going to this convention and checking it out. But check out the interview and you can see what I'm talking about. I am here with Chris from Retro Games Plus. This is really cool talking to him for a couple of reasons. A, because he's brought with him a Gottlieb Nightmare on Elm Street pinball table, which I have never seen one in person. That's really awesome. But even more importantly, other than the fact that he's really into video games, is that there's going to be a retro video game convention coming up called RetroWorld Expo, in October. And I'm really looking forward to that. So Chris, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about Retro Games Plus. You guys are based out of Connecticut, and so it's classic video game stores. What do you guys do?
So we have 3 stores in Connecticut, as you mentioned. We sell everything from Atari to Xbox One, PS4 games. We sell video toys and collectibles, vintage toys and collectibles, and Gundam figures, and a bunch of other stuff in between. But we've been doing it for about 6 years now.
Now you have 3 locations in the Connecticut area, so where are those locations at?
We're down in Norwalk, Orange, Connecticut, and Newington, Connecticut.
So why don't we talk about the RetroWorld Expo, what it's all about, and why people should come?
So RetroWorld Expo, we're going into our 3rd year. I started this kind of as a dream a few years ago. I saw that I'd owned the stores for a few years. I saw that there was a big community that was growing in Connecticut, and we'd visited a bunch of other video game expos throughout the years, from MagFest to PAX East. And in between New York and Boston, there was kind of nothing. So in that Connecticut area, we started, again, 3 years ago in Wallingford, Connecticut, at a smaller theater that was about 30,000 square feet. And it just grew for year 1. Year 2, we were busting at the seams. We couldn't do everything we wanted to do with tournaments. The arcade was tight. The console free play area was tight. Tabletop gaming was tight. So this year, we just signed a contract to go to the Connecticut Convention Center in Hartford, Connecticut. We're going to be in 80,000 square feet. Which is triple the size for us. So we have a lot of room. So everything, vendors will have more room. Tabletop will have plenty of space. The arcades, the pinballs, all that will have a lot more space. And all those things that I mentioned are really the gist of the convention. But our main goal is always to just put on a good show that people can have fun at. And the arcade is one of the most popular things. They love pinball machines. We work with a lot of other groups in the area and collectors to bring arcade machines. So we contribute about 40 or so, but we probably had close to 75 to 80 machines last year. Our goal is to get upwards of 120 plus machines there this year. To expand the tabletop, expand the console free play, we want to have every system there. And just, again, put on a really good show. I really enjoy coming to shows. I love putting them on. I just want people to have a good time when they're there.
And that's one of the really cool things about video games, especially like the older stuff. It's something that the whole family can enjoy. A lot of the arcade games back at the time were simpler. You know, you needed your reflexes and you needed to think fast. But there's still, a lot of the stuff is still fun to play. A lot of classic stuff that's out there. So where would they go if they want to get more information about the expo? Is it RetroWorldExpo.com?
It is. Yes, RetroWorldExpo.com. Again, October 14th through 15th. Check it out. It's going to be an awesome event this year. We're really excited about it. I think we're going to have a lot to offer. And just stay tuned. We just announced a couple weeks ago, so there'll be a lot more information coming out. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media stuff, and then the website. So.
Okay, and what about your website for your store? So if you have anybody that's looking for any video games, what is that?
Sure. RetroGamesPlus.com, and we are always buying stuff. We're always looking for games. We always selling stuff too. So, yeah. Check us out.
Awesome, Chris. Well, I'm really looking forward to the expo. I will be there one way or another. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy your rest of your time in here at TerrorCon.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Video gaming is here to stay.
Yep.
I have to say. Let's see what else is going on. Destiny 2 is being released this month. I will have a review next month, all over that.
All right.
Pokemon Go is doing really well. They've introduced the concept of raids, and they've released like the legendary Pokemon, so you have a bunch of people get together and have to fight to take down the legendary Pokemon.
No, the people are going to get arrested over Pokemon Go.
I am
it's not
actually,
going to be pretty.
I am actually trying to get some of the higher rated players from Rhode Island in here to do like a round table where we can discuss Pokemon
that would be
Go.
funny.
So
and and they're going to have their phones on, and one Pokemon thing's going to pop up in the studio. It'll be a mass exodus trying to get this thing before.
So I'm trying to get that set.
It's going to get ugly.
Hopefully maybe next month. We'll see. But keep on looking for that. Last but certainly not least, we have more coverage from Fantastic New England 2017, and I am geeked. You know why? 2017, Gabe did really well with 2017. There's going to be a Fantastic 2018.
And it's not the same weekend.
And it is not the same weekend as ConnectiCon.
So all of us can go. All right.
Fantastic New England 2018, June 28th through 30th, the Sturbridge House Hotel, Sturbridge, Massachusetts.
Oh, I think I'm busy then.
So it is like 2 weeks away from ConnectiCon, so now I can go to both.
Nice.
And that is all I have.
Awesome.
I have one from the Boston South Coast Comic-Con that I did with a young author.
Cool.
So I thought, hey, let's feature a young writer, an author who could be an up-and-coming, he is an up-and-coming writer. So
could be, is.
Yeah.
Kind of.
All right.
Okay.
So here is that one. Hey, this is James. I'm at Boston South Coast Comic-Con. I'm here with Benjamin Sturdy. He's written a book called The Winter. So Benjamin, tell me about your book.
It's mainly about a 15-year-old boy accidentally stranded on an Arctic planet by his father. And his main goal, once he's stranded, is to relocate his father, and he'll stop at nothing to do it. But when he stumbles across the most powerful artifact in all of existence, his whole life and his whole journey changes forever. His simple quest to relocate his father becomes more than a quest. It becomes a mission, and it becomes a mission to prevail and survive.
Okay, so and tell me, how long did it take to write?
The book took around 3 to 4 months to write, and around a year to publish.
And so where is it available?
It's available in some of the local libraries and a few bookstores. It's been on Amazon for a while, and the publishers, Author House, they have a website, and it's on their website too.
All right, and so you're local here to the Hanover area, or?
I live in Situate.
Oh, in Situate, Mass. Great, that's awesome. And you're still a young writer. Do you have any more works that you're working on, or?
I do.
Any more?
I have one story I've finished. It's been finished for a while, but I've not sent it off to a publisher yet, so I'm hoping to do that sometime this summer. And after that, I might make a sequel to The Winter.
Cool. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thank you.
So here's another one that we have from the ConnectiCon that you guys did. So let's take a look at that one.
All right, Marc, back at you at ConnectiCon 2017. I am with
Brian Clevinger.
And he is the writer for an awesome comic, Atomic Robo. How long has Robo been around?
This will be the 10th year.
Wow. All right. Now, when I started reading Robo back in the beginning, I have all the issues, okay? And not just the compilations, but we're talking like all the issues.
Right.
Because it's really awesome stuff. How'd you get the idea for Atomic Robo?
It's really complicated. History is cool.
Right.
Robots are cool.
Right.
Let's put them together.
Okay.
There you go.
And that's it.
That's it.
Okay. What I like about Atomic Robo is that you can go anywhere in time with this guy. So you can go like 1940s or you can go back in 1800s. Is there, out of all the stories that you've written so far, is there a favorite time period that you've had so far?
Kind of like the more classic pulp era, like 20s, 30s, 40s.
Okay.
Just mostly because Robo is a little younger then, so it gives us an opportunity to let him be kind of dumb, kind of inexperienced, and it's just a lot of fun to play with that.
It's a lot of fun too. Now, Real Science Adventures, how did that get started?
As we were writing Robo, we kept finding like other opportunities for little smaller stories that didn't really fit in the main Robo collection. So we let those kind of pile up, and we decided, oh, let's just do a bunch of short stories. Just little things about other characters or other places in Robo's world, and so that's how that happened.
Now, I know Atomic Robo was a comic book for a while, then it stopped being a comic and went online, and now it's back for a comic book again. Talk about how that happened.
We kind of always wanted to do it as a web comic, just because we kind of assumed that there would be a different audience for a print comic and a different audience for a web comic. And it turns out that that's basically correct. So now we do a web comic and we do a print comic. You can get it at your local comics shop through IDW, or you can just read it for free online at atomic-robo.com. Yeah, it's working out great.
Now, strange question for you. Nikolai Tesla, if his method of transmitting electricity were to become the standard instead of Thomas Edison, what kind of a world would we be living in today?
An amazing one. That's all I got.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Atomic Robo, if you haven't read it, go out and buy this book. It is wicked awesome.
All right, so now we're going to go on to Tube News with Marc Morisseau.
That's me. All right, here we go. September 2017. Are you ready? Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You guys watch that show?
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of.
It gets 22 episodes for season 5.
Ah,
it
good.
could start as early as November instead of January of 2018 because ABC Marvel's Inhumans is another ABC show that runs for 8 episodes starting September 29th. The first reviews of this show have not been all that positive, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could start right after the 8 episodes of Inhumans ends. So what they might do is run Inhumans, take a break, and then around Thanksgiving we're going to start seeing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sound good?
That's great.
Okay, should be fun.
I'm looking forward to both of them, actually.
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with the Inhumans. The only character I know is Medusa, the chick with the hair.
Oh,
you don't know Black Bolt?
Nope, not familiar with the. I'm not a Marvel guy. I'm more of a DC guy.
Right.
And we'll leave it at that.
And some of it is shot in Hawaii, so I'm looking forward to seeing, the footage in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, I used to live there. Yeah. Oh my God, they destroyed it. Okay.
Yeah, it actually is. The house that I lived in Hawaii is gone. It's been replaced. It was Navy housing, so.
Okay.
Okay, next.
All right, here we go. Fox has 2 shows to check out this fall. One is The Gifted. Starts Monday, October 2nd, 9 p.m. Stephen Moyer and Amy Acker, one of my favorite actresses, as parents of 2 gifted children. It's not an X-Men show, says producer Matt Nix. The X-Men are gone, and nobody knows where they went. So there's like X-Men type characters.
You mean, could they be in limbo?
They might be in limbo, yeah. Which the Catholic Church did away with years ago, but we won't go there. All right? But that's one show to check out. The other one is The Orville, Sunday, September 10th, 8 p.m., Galaxy Quest Star Trek Homage, which should be fun.
This looks funny.
Yeah, it looks funny, yeah. And speaking of Galaxy Quest, I guess Amazon is working on a TV show based on Galaxy Quest.
Cool. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I think they're kind of late to the game because they've already got the Orville. It's probably going to steal their thunder.
Yeah. But I heard that two of the people working on the Orville had worked on Enterprise.
Okay.
So they came from the Star Trek universe, kind of, and is working with McFarlane. Actually, that's how McFarlane got a guest spot or a cameo on Enterprise was
because of that.
With his buddy there.
He's a big Trek fan.
So,
okay,
yeah.
Speaking of Star Trek, here we go. Holy controversy, boys and girls. Star Trek Discovery, going to run the first episode on CBS. Then you'll be able to watch it on their all-access streaming starting Sunday, September 24th at 8:30 p.m. Takes place 10 years before Kirk and Spock. There are new designs for the Klingons. Harry Mudd makes a return. Die-hard Star Trek fans are all up in arms about this series. Officer Michael Burnham, played by actress Sonequa Martin Green, who used to be on The Walking Dead, is supposedly Spock's adopted sister in this program. Now, will you pay for CBS All Access just to watch Star Trek?
No. I'm
Jay?
not.
Are you going to pay for CBS All Access just to watch Star Trek Discovery?
No.
No? Calvin?
Probably not. I will watch the first episode and I will based on there, but in all likelihood, probably not.
Yeah, because it's expensive. If you want it with limited commercials, it's a little less than $60 a year. If you want it with no commercials, it's a little less than $100 a year. That's a lot of money.
Crazy.
That's crazy, crazy money. And you know that people are going to pirate the you-know-what out of this thing.
Yep.
So you'll be able to catch it eventually. Don't worry about it.
It'll be on Blu-ray.
It'll be on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
It'll be on
they'll sell the
streaming.
discs.
You'll get it. Okay, Game of Thrones fans, raise your hand. Season 7 chugs along. It's awesome.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. All right.
Winter is here.
And then finally, the CW shows, because I like the CW shows. They're returning the week of October 9th of 2017. Monday, we have Supergirl at 8. Tuesday, we have The Flash at 8 and Legends of Tomorrow at 9. Wednesday is Riverdale at 8, season number 2. Thursday, they've done a little bit different. They have Supernatural at 8, followed by Arrow at 9. And then Friday is an on-sci-fi show. You've got Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and Jane the Virgin coming back. There's also a Black Lightning live-action TV show that's going to be a mid-season program.
Yep.
So they're adding to that superhero lineup. And the 100 and iZombie will be returning sometime in 2018.
Cool.
Okay. Shows I've been finishing up over the summer. I've been watching The Strain, which is really pretty awesome. The Mist just finished up on Spike TV, based on the Stephen King novel. Pretty awesome stuff. On Sci-Fi Friday nights, you've got a bunch of shows that I like to watch as well.
Dark Matter
and Killjoys.
Killjoys.
Awesome stuff. All right. Yeah, I just feel like doing that. It's my brain going, too much stuff. All right, and that's it. All I have for TV news.
What?
What? What do you mean?
No Luke Cage?
I've been watching Luke Cage, but I haven't finished it yet. So I have to watch Luke Cage, then I have to watch Iron Fist, and then I can watch The Defenders. You got to go in order.
You saw Daredevil season 2, right?
I saw Daredevil season 2.
Yeah, I'm further behind than you, so I have nothing to say.
Yeah.
I've watched Defenders, except I slept through episode 8. I mean, no, sorry, episode 7.
But you can watch it.
And then watched half of 8, which is, there's only 8 episodes.
Right.
So it was great. I'll have to see. And plus, all the shows got their own new seasons coming up next year. So.
Yeah, so we'll see. So lots of cool TV to watch, online or streaming or cable or whatever you want. All right, that's it for Toob News for this month. Let's move on to the wonderful world of anime, with a segment we like to call Anime Daisuki. Go, James, go!
Right, so this month for Anime Daisuki, there is a new Mobile Suit Gundam series that's been on streaming, or not really streaming, but it's available to buy online or like a rental pay-per-view kind of thing. It's called Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt, and coming out in November at all globally and at Anime New York City, or NYC, Anime NYC, is a compilation film called MSG Thunderbolt Bandit Flower, and I'm looking forward to this. I haven't really checked out Thunderbolt yet, but it's another part of the Mobile Suit Gundam universe. I think it's the UC, the original Universal Calendar universe. So I'm going to check that out. Plus, Anime New York City, or Anime NYC, is a brand new. Are you okay?
Somebody replaced my whiskey with water.
Oh my goodness. Don't mess with someone's alcohol. And we're just kidding. So Anime New York City, or
I'll drink to that.
yeah, Anime NYC, is a new anime convention in New York City again. And it's at the Jacob Javits Center in New York City, November, I think it's 17th and 18th. 18th and 19th, yeah, 17th through the 19th. So check it out. Another huge anime con in New York City. Let's see, Lionsgate, a couple years ago, announced that they're going to do a live-action Naruto movie. And right now they've just got some new scriptwriters, John and Eric Hober, who did Red and Red 2, which were really great, fun movies. And also involved is Masashi Kishimoto, the original creator of Naruto. So we could have a Hollywood version of Naruto. I don't know how good that'll be. Of course, there might be complaints. We'll see how the casting goes when it comes time. It's still in development, so we'll see. All right, and next we have Netflix. Netflix has been adding more anime to their lineup, coming out, some of it originally produced. And what else? They just had the 3rd season of Voltron Legendary Defenders come out.
That's got good reviews.
Yep. They've got some others. Aiko, which is about some kind of a accident happens and this young girl gets involved named Aiko. That's coming to Netflix. They have lots of great stuff on there. So if you're on Netflix, you can check it out. But also, Netflix is invading Japan in some way. They've been trying to produce original programming in Japan, so they're actually having, they have funds and stuff to invest in these anime in Japan. And then these anime are going to get global, worldwide releases because Netflix is global, right? So in Japan, one of the film critics and also a screenwriter named Tomohiro Machiyama, he talked about this influence that before, when Japanese animators were pretty much kind of starving artists, but now they've got budgets that are beyond what they originally had for their work. So there's sort of an influx of funds to produce anime in Japan could change the anime industry there, plus get more recognition, worldwide recognition for their work. So that's something I think Netflix is kind of changing the paradigm for anime production and film and TV production, wherever they are, because they're investing in local productions like that, original stuff. And then also Netflix, in August here, we just had the release of live-action Death Note. You can check it out.
Oh, do you think that is going to get good reviews?
I don't know. I'll have to check it out when we're shooting the week before it opens, so
if
we'll
you get your moviespass.com, it won't cost you like less.
What would be nice, they have had the anime on Netflix too, but if they could also have the Japanese live-action films, those would be good to see.
Right.
I've seen the first couple, and it was like a 2-parter, but there's more of them. So, and then we could do comparisons and see how it is. So that's it I have for Anime Daisuki this month. So we'll go on to toys, props, and other
stuff.
Ooh, very James Cookie interview. All right, so our wonderfully talented camera people will point at things and we will speak about them.
I'm just going to say who was up here.
Yeah.
We've got the Wasp.
Nice job with the wings.
Yeah. We've got Thor. This is the movie version of Thor.
All right.
We've got Hawkeye.
Yep.
And we've got Iron Man.
Awesome stuff.
And these were all purchased off of Amazon.com for my birthday.
Yeah, like they need the business. All right.
All right. Oh, so what we have here are Harry Potter audio books. They're cassette form. Got them from friends who were doing a little yard sale kind of thing. So on the left there is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and in the middle is a 4-book set from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which is the English version, narrated by Stephen Fry, who has a great voice. And you know, he's been on American television too. If you haven't seen him before, he's been on Bones and stuff like that. But he's mostly a British, you know, comedy actor. So, Order of the Phoenix on the left, Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, and Goblet of Fire in the middle lunchbox type case there. And then on the right is one of the cases from inside that has the cassettes. So yes, it's cassettes, and I just happened to acquire a nice used cassette deck so I can listen to them, and it'll be fun to listen. I've heard the American version read by Jim Dale. Those were okay, but Stephen Fry's got a real British accent, real British voice. And that one there is the Goblet of Fire, Harry writing on the back of the hippogriff.
Yep, and you brought some Buffy stuff?
And then, yeah, at Boston South Coast Comic Con, one of the vendors there had the seasons 2, 3, and 4 sets of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and you know, Tuesday night used to be Buffy night at my house, so it's like, oh hey, let's check out, let's get the DVDs.
Those days.
Yeah. My daughters recently had wanted to watch Buffy again because they were little when they used to watch it originally. So now, in their 20s, it's like, hey, let's check it out. Great show.
Nice. All right, and then I brought a couple of things from the Firefly Serenity universe. So we've got a little wash action figure, and then next to that is a patch, an Independence patch that came from one of those mail order once-a-month boxes. You can get all sorts of cool sci-fi stuff.
Speaking of Firefly, they just had the Brown Coat Ball over in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And the next Brown Coat Ball next year will be in Washington, D.C.
I like that
so
one.
They're still having the Brown Coat Ball. In fact, I think maybe soon the New England Browncoats will try to host it again.
That would be nice.
That would be cool. Have the Brown Coat Ball here, you know.
Yeah, I like that wash figure because it's got the little dinosaurs
Yeah.
they can play with too. And then Justice League.
That's one of the archive editions of the DC Comics. You know, they collect about, I think there's like 7 issues in this one.
Right.
This is volume 2 of Justice League of America, so it's issues 8 through 14. I picked this up at South Coast Comic Con too. I thought, you know, I should really, you know, since I don't have these comics anymore, if I had them originally back in the day, it's like, oh, I'll get the archives and then I'll be able to get to read them.
Cool. All right, as always, if you would like to get in touch with us, our email is info@risfc.org. Our website is www.risfc.org. Our Twitter is @Sci-Fi Journal. We also have a Facebook page, and we have a YouTube channel.
Right.
If you don't get Rhode Island Public Access, you can catch our show on YouTube. Go ahead, James, make the pitch for Peg Media.
Well, so all of our viewers out there in other states, all the way from California to Georgia to Maine to Minnesota. Hi.
Minnesota.
Welcome all of our new viewers too that we have out in Ohio and places like that.
Yep.
Louisiana, we got viewers down there. Like our page, Facebook. On Facebook, we have both Rhode Island Science Fiction Club and Sci-Fi Journal.
Yep. Okay. Any shout-outs before we go, Calvin?
We have a lot of really cool stuff for you guys to look forward to. We're going to be covering a lot of conventions. HasCon is, as we are taping, is less than a month away, so we're going to be covering that. We have Rhode Island Comic Con in November. Just going to different places and locations, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Come and join us and go along for the ride.
Cool. All right, Mr. J.
No shout-outs.
Mr. James.
We're good.
We're good. All right. I want to say hello, back to school for all the kids. Be safe. Study hard. I'm going back to school in a couple of weeks. It'll be a lot of fun. You're driving again.
Yay.
Yay. I can tell he's looking forward to it. Okay, that's going to be it for the September 2017 edition of Sci-Fi Journal. Thank you, camera people. Ian and Madison, awesome job. Thank you in the booth, Brian. Thank you, Kat. As always, awesome, awesome job. We will see you next month in October. Ooh, maybe we can do like a spooky Halloween show. And that month, Jay won't wear a mask. That'll be awesome. Bye.
What has gotten into you today?
I don't know. I figured, you know.